So most of my patients think aging shows up first as wrinkles, but actually in clinic, that's not what I see first. What I see is structure loss. Cheeks flatten, temples hollow out, the lower face, it starts to pull down. Exactly what we see here in this picture. Now you're going to say, what about the wrinkles, Rajani? Well, those are actually the easy part to treat. Let me explain. And I see this pattern all the time. It's so common, especially with women, especially after 40, 45. I think the reason is because this habit, it looks healthy on paper only, meaning in theory. But on the face, it quietly speeds up aging. And I think that's part of the problem here. It's quiet, meaning it occurs over time. It's like when you do a face treatment and the results are seen over time, like radio frequency or injection biostimulators. It happens so gradually, patients will come back and say, hey, I don't think this worked. And then you take the before and after and you look and they look so much better. But because it happens slowly, it's imperceptible to people and that sneaks up on them. You walk into the gym and the first thing you do is head straight to the bike or that elliptical slider machine. Are you guilty? Comment below. It's called cardio. Now let's look what the science says. There was an interesting comparison published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research. Researchers compared endurance athletes with people who primarily did resistance training. The endurance athletes had lower lean muscle mass, lower body fat, and here's the huge one, higher chronic cortisol levels. And that combination may sound healthy, but for the face, it creates the perfect storm for fat loss and hollowing. But what you don't see is underneath, it's called structural collapse because facial aging is not primarily about wrinkles. You can look at a face that looks old. You can look at this picture here. There's not many wrinkles at all, but yet you can tell the person's age, loss of structure. It's about losing the scaffolding under the skin. How do I know? Because in clinic nowadays, what are we doing the most of? Deep medial fat pad injection. That's right here in the front of the cheek. Yes, it's part of the baby face. It's making the face a little more rounder versus the high lateral cheek, but it's because of structural loss that we're having to address this area. The number one area, and that used to be the last area we used to do. In fact, here's a celebrity you might know in the news lately. Look in the before. The fat pad had fallen. We call that ptosis. And then here in the after, voila, filled up. You see kind of a ball right there? Not the most natural look, right? Now, most importantly, how do we avoid that? Well, the scaffolding naturally is made of three things: bone, fat, and muscle. When those shrink, the skin simply falls, and that's where the wrinkle comes last. Your face has specialized fat pads, different than the rest of your body. They give your face shape, they sit on the cheeks, in the temples, and around the jawline. And when people stay in a chronic calorie deficit, often from excessive cardio, those fat pads shrink. And unlike body fat, they don't always return. That's the biggest problem. You want an exaggerated example of this? It's called Ozempic face. You can see it here. That hollow, the drawn in look, the deflated look. We used to see that with lipoatrophy of the face with the side effects from HIV medications back in the day. Now we see it a lot with cardio runners. It's not just weight loss, that's the structural loss I'm talking about. And here's the part many people still don't realize. Bone is involved too. The great news, bone responds to mechanical load. When you lift weights or create resistance, bone density improves. But with only doing long duration cardio, that stimulus, it's much, much weaker. So what do you end up with? Less fat, less muscle, less bone, the opposite of what we want. And the face begins to look hollow, like in the prior pictures I showed you, flat and older. So instead of just telling you what not to do, let me give you 3 exact changes. Now, if you're getting value from my videos, and maybe you've watched 2 or 3, please consider subscribing and liking. It helps me. That's all I ask in return. So back to it. To protect your face fat after 45, The number one change you want to do is train the big structural muscles. Focus on 3 muscle groups, the ones that drive structure, and here it is, hormone signaling. So important. Number 1, the glutes, 2, the quadriceps, that's the front leg muscle, and 3, the back muscles, back here. Those are the biggest muscles in the body, the 3 biggest. And when you train them, you stimulate powerful signals tied to muscle. So not only do you get signaling of more muscle, you also get signaling of bone remodeling and overall support, collagen. Think of it like upgrading the internal support beams of your face. And yes, Botox, you're going to say right now, Doc, that paralyzes the muscles, but that makes you look younger, right? Yes, immediately younger, but long-term older. So less Botox is better for your bone. More Botox would equal more paralysis and less bone. The change number 2, protect your facial fat. Stop treating all fat as if it's the enemy, because the fat in your face is not a flaw. It's youth and it's structure. The cheek fat pads that we're talking about, they act like cushions. They hold the skin in place. They make youth-promoting baby face estrogen. There it is. Estrogen makes you look younger. That's what fat does. It produces that. Lose the fat too aggressively and everything then starts to drop. That's why you sometimes see people who are extremely fit. They got a 6-pack, but their face looks 10 years older than their body. Also, of course, with running and long distance, a lot of times people are getting the elements, the sun and the UV to add on top of that. Change number 3, balance your cardio. Cardio is excellent. It's awesome for your heart. But endless long duration cardio after the age of 45, that's going to shift the body toward cortisol and catabolism. And catabolism is not your friend. Catabolism with a C. So if you're trying to protect your face, here's exactly what you want to do. Shorter cardio sessions, more strength training, adequate protein, and amazing sleep. For protein, 1 gram per pound of your ideal body weight. Not the body weight that you are now, potentially. Maybe you're at the ideal. If you're not, it's the gram per pound of your ideal body weight, and you can calculate that. That combination helps preserve bone, muscle, and face fat. For your protein, I recommend people calculate it. A lot of people don't know what they take in the run of a day. Examples: an 8-ounce steak, that's about 50 grams of protein. So if your ideal weight's 120 pounds, you're trying to get to 120 grams. An 8-ounce steak, that's 50. A cup of Greek yogurt, 20 grams. A cup of cottage cheese, 25 to 28 grams. So you see, there are apps for this, and there's even an AI app that you can scan your food, and it will calculate the protein for you. That's what's all coming. So wrinkles are actually very easy to treat. Skin can almost always be improved. But once facial fat, bone support, and structure disappear, restoring the skin becomes much harder, if not impossible. So if your goal is to stay healthy and look younger, especially after 45, because before 45, a lot of times the skin will bounce back, but after 45, it's different. Make sure your face is not quietly paying the price for your workout routine. Because the truth is, it's not the wrinkles that age most people first. It's the collapse underneath them. You'll now want to watch this video on how collagen powder can help you, and one down here on how natural red light can help you supercharge your mitochondria, keep your skin and body beautiful, healthy, and vibrant.